All right, guys, another episode of Master Song today with Asim Saidi, with the famous Asim Saidi from GoShed. Okay? No, what? I know.
President Awesome Karate Combat.
What? What the fuck? That's it.
Watch out.
Are you the guy who's talking shit everywhere? Okay? That is destroying the karate martial art reputation and making the association going up.
Yes,
like
sir.
a skyrocket.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Thank you, man.
Well,
I
good to see you
appreciate
again.
it. Yes, sir.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I would talk with him every day, but now the last month, it made like a big change that make him grow like crazy. Now he's the president of Karate Combat. Okay, if you know that is Karate Combat, okay, go take a look because I think it's in the top 3 organizations these days, right? It's
Yes,
UFC,
sir. Yes, sir.
Karate in views, right?
Yes, in viewership, we're actually second to the UFC,
Opa.
and we absolutely killed it last event. So we actually went past PFL, Bellator, and right under the UFC. And now we're partnering with the UFC. So we aired on UFC Fight Pass platform. We gave it to them, to work with them. And now, we have calls with them as well. So that way we can partner up properly,
Okay, let's start with something. Because all the people in the karate, karate community is complaining about, no, it's not the traditional karate. It's not the motherfuckers. Okay, listen. 30 years ago, 40 years ago, remember Bill Wallace when he was doing this full contact kickboxing? What the fuck was that? It was exactly the same with the long pants. And the thing that these people from Karate Combat is doing is great because we are bringing the old school of fighting back.
Exactly.
The technique, the nice kick, the action, all right?
Exactly. And you know what? A lot of people get upset, but what they have to understand is if you want to evolve a martial art, you have to bring these different styles in. So I'll give you for instance, right? Jiu-Jitsu has evolved so much. I've been doing Jiu-Jitsu 25 years. Imagine if they said no wrestlers are allowed to compete with us.
Oh.
They wouldn't be able to wrestle today. Right. Well, they said no Sambo guys, no Judo guys. Jiu-Jitsu wouldn't be where it is today. Exactly. So if you want to evolve karate, bring the bare knuckle guys in, bring the Muay Thai guys in, and let them fight in your rule set so you can evolve the sport. The rules are the same. When a wrestler comes to jiu-jitsu, they have to compete jiu-jitsu. It's not wrestling anymore. Right. So when these guys come into the rule set, it's still the karate rule set. And it's going to force the martial art to grow. Right? Because they have to compete against these different styles. So that's a very important part about the martial arts.
And that's the beauty, right? The old school way of kicking, when you have the virtuosity about the back spinning kick or 360. That's the things that the people want to see even in UFC because grappling is great. And one of the things that the MMA did is destroying the myth of the traditional martial artists that with one punch is gonna kill you. That bullshit. Okay, if you are so good, get in the cage.
Exactly.
But the evolution of everything, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys came, dominate for years. Now the people who used to do striking learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so the things start changing again. And you see how was the evolution of the MMA. And now it's going back to the roots.
Exactly.
To the good striking, right? To the good technique.
And that's what I love about it because if you think about it in reality, boxing, Muay Thai, they're all beautiful sports. But because there's no takedown involved, when they transition to MMA, they have a very, very, very hard time.
It's different, right?
With the Karate Combat rule set, it's going to teach the strikers to be able to transition to a real fight. If they fought MMA, it's no problem. They can stop the takedowns. Right. They can get the takedowns. So it's perfect striking for a real fight. Right. And right now, you go to any MMA gym, any professional MMA team, you find a Muay Thai coach, wrestling coach, Jiu-Jitsu coach, right? But the Muay Thai guy can't wrestle. No. The wrestler can't throw a jab. And the Jiu-Jitsu guy can't do any of that other stuff. So with Karate Combat, as this evolves, you're going to have a striking art that incorporates takedowns. And in 3 years' time, I promise you, the top MMA gyms in the world would need a Karate Combat instructor. It would have to happen because it's going to be the only striking art that incorporates takedown and ground and pound. So it's going to evolve the art so much. But a lot of these traditional martial arts, and Bas Rutten and GSP, they said it a little different. Bas Rutten told me, he's like, awesome. All these guys, stop calling them purists. Stop calling them traditional martial arts. They're Mac Dojo guys. Right. They're Mac Dojo guys, and they're mad because what they do is not real. Right. So they know they can't fight in the pit. They know what they do is not real. They've never sparred in their life. They never got punched in the face in their life.
Right? The shape of the...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Beautiful.
But because of that, they're upset because they want to believe that their katas, their dancing is real. It's not real. This is real karate. Full contact fight.
Old school, when the same thing that the Gracies did a long time ago, when they went to every school to see, to desafy, that desafy is the word?
Yeah.
To see who is better and fight to prove the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was right. Hundreds of years ago with the karate, they go to other schools to fight instructor, and the better keep the students, right?
Exactly. And
It was fighting. It's about fighting.
You're 100% right. And think about this. I'll tell you this because combat sports fans are in love with what I'm building, like insane. I got Nate Diaz messaging me about being interested in karate combat. I got the biggest names in the world talking about fighting for us. I can't mention too many, but big names that want to fight for us. People love it now. Combat sports fans are in love. Fight fans are in love. Now, these Mac Dojo guys are pissed off. But what they have to understand is this. Mitsuyu Maeda, the one who took jiu-jitsu from Japan and spread it around the world, what he did was he left Japan. They were very angry. They were very angry at him, the Japanese. And he fought around the world against different styles to find out what worked and what didn't. And then he taught the Gracie family. And then the Gracie family did the same thing. They fought around the world, different styles to find out what worked, and they evolved into what they have today. Right. Bruce Lee did the same. Everyone hated Bruce Lee. The Chinese did not like the Bruce Lee. Did not like him because he was teaching everybody, right? And he was combining martial arts, and they didn't like it. He had submissions, he had takedowns, he had striking. They were very mad at him.
Because the one of the roots of the basics in Cali, Filipino Grino, they have wrestling. It's not only the stick fighting. They have the self. They have also a healing part that they teach you how to heal the people that you destroy.
Wow.
So I was learning that with the guy who is here in Pembroke, Pine Abundio Salazar Bait.
Okay.
It's the rank is in Filipino are different. It's padrino, tío, abuelo, because it's the rank of the family in Filipino martial arts. But it's everything goes to the same beginning. It's fighting.
Yep.
It's about fighting. It's about war. The thing that the martial art did more civilized to don't kill each other in each training.
Of course.
But that's the beauty. The people forget sometimes. They always say I put something with Jorge Elizondo talking about that we are bring the bullying back, right? They are gonna start training. Well, we never stop training the people in the hard way, right?
Of course.
But you have to push. It's fighting.
Of course.
Okay. 100%. All those Mac Dojo is about money, giving belt. How could be a kid 10 years old, 12 years old have a 4-degree black belt? What the fuck? All right. I spent in Argentina, I was starting with Taekwondo ATF, that is the original one with the hands, not the one they kick like a fan, not the WTF from the Olympics, the original one. And I went more times to the hospital in Taekwondo than in Muay Thai. Because it was fighting.
Yep.
Right? And if you don't learn, if you don't get kicked in the head a couple of times or slap or punch in the face, how the fuck are you going to defend yourself in a real situation?
Exactly.
Because when the shit hit the fan, and this shit going everywhere, and you are scared as fuck, when someone comes and slap the shit out of you, if you don't know the feeling, you are not gonna fight, my friends.
Of course.
So that's the good thing about the karate combat. They bring the things back.
Oh yeah, keeping it real, 100%. This was the first event we had. This was the first event I had control of. And just to give you an example, president before me, his last event generated about 10 million views. This event, within 3 or 4 days, got about 30 million views. It had 27 million views. So I was able to 3x the organization in just one event. You know what I mean? And that's the idea. A lot of people think small. They want to get 1% better or 10% better. I'm talking about I 300% increased the organization in one. And we're going to do this throughout the years. And I promise you, karate is just going to explode. But it's going to expose these Mac Dojos. It's going to absolutely expose them. What I'm thinking about doing is karate combat. I want to create some sort of stamp. And if you're teaching real martial art, real karate, let's go ahead and let's put that there so everybody knows, hey, that's the gym I get to learn how to fight for real. Right. That's not a fake gym. So I want to create some sort of rebellion against these Mac Dojos, and I'm still thinking of ways to do that.
Let me ask you, because now, again, in karate combat, we can see again the beauty of a technique, right? The 360, the back spinning kick or whatever, things that you don't see the pro UFC fighters do. That these better than me. You see pro fighters that are great in MMA, and you saw a back spinning kick. You say, what the fuck? The leg was like this.
Yes,
they land with the side. there are only a few who are able to do techniques like that. And those are the ones who comes from traditional martial arts. From karate, but in the good way, taekwondo, kempo karate,
Of
those
course.
schools. So again, that's why people is so excited about karate combat, because they start seeing things that they didn't see again anymore, because the wrestling and grappling changed the rules in fighting a little bit.
Exactly. And you know, a lot of people talk about martial arts against multiple opponents. I'm sure you hear that question a lot.
Yeah.
How do you fight multiple opponents? This is something interesting. You got to evolve the martial arts. The karate combat rule set would be the best to train you for something like that, because we're not committed to the ground ever. You can't strike from side control. You can be knee on stomach. You can be standing. So it teaches you the perfect technique. The rules funnel you to be able to defend yourself in a real fight. You're in a real fight on the street. You don't want to be mounted and then you get soccer
You
kicked.
don't want to go to the floor.
No. So karate combat rules will funnel you to defend yourself in a real fight. You're standing, you got to knock the guy down. Quick takedown, you land striking standing, ready for the next guy. This is the perfect rule set to evolve karate for a real martial art, for a real self-defense situation.
Right. Because I always say, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a great self-defense tool against one. Okay?
Exactly.
And again, you don't want to go to the floor in the parking lot.
Exactly.
You don't want to put your elbows on the floor, your knees on the floor. And you don't want the people to say that, because you're fighting with one and you don't know if someone else is coming from behind and kick you in the head or whatever. I'm not talking about Jiu-Jitsu because I love Jiu-Jitsu too. Even if I talk shit because it's Brazilian and Argentinians don't like Brazilians, just in terms of soccer, because I have Brazilian friends. But that's the biggest.
Of course.
biggest thing
That's always been it. You know, that's always been the argument. And there's never been a sport, I don't know why, with this rule set. It's a genius rule set. I've changed a lot of parts about the rules though, because I know how to evolve a martial art, because I was with jiu-jitsu from the start. I've been doing jiu-jitsu 25 years. I saw jiu-jitsu when it was a baby. And I actually took many privates, countless privates with Leo Gracie. For many years, I took many classes. He actually handed me many belts throughout my life, you know, up until adulthood, till he passed away. And then I got my black belt from Royce Gracie later on, you know. But I know what jiu-jitsu was, and I saw the evolution, so I know how to evolve a martial art. I saw it in front of my eyes, and I can do the same thing for karate, you know. But there's definitely going to be some pushback again from these MAC dojos and stuff, because they're going to be exposed. But in the end of the day, there's going to be huge respect for karate over time.
I used to be in the business of, all my life I've been in martial arts like you since I was a kid, 9 years old. But, it's hard living being a martial artist or a fighter. So I always did another things, right? So one of the things that I was doing for a long time, I used to manufacture uniforms for hotels and restaurants. And I know a lot of chefs. And I was working here in Miami for a long time, providing things for them. And I always see something, right? Most of the restaurants who are opened by chefs didn't survive. Why? Because they are no businessmen. They are chefs. The same with the martial arts. Most of the karate, Brazilian jiu-jitsu school that they open, they don't survive for a long time. Because they are martial artists, they are no businessmen. When you know how to do both, or you are a businessman who are a chef or a martial artist, your business grow more. So that's the good thing about you and the association, because you are not only a martial artist, you are a businessman.
Exactly.
Right? You manage your gym, you manage your fighters, and you have the idea how both work.
Well, I got absolutely blessed with something. So, again, Goat Shed is absolutely world famous. We get 15 million views a month. Karate Combat, this month, I've only been working 7 weeks. So this is my second month working. This month, we reached over 400 million views on just Instagram. I think it was Instagram and Twitter. I don't remember, but whatever. 400 million. So we're talking about the growth is crazy how much we're getting, right? What I got to say is, I had a very special upbringing, okay? A lot of people don't know this. I never revealed this information because we always joke around in Florida, oil money, and we drive around the Rolls Royce and chains and watches, right? I always have fun with that stuff. So the local gyms are mad. And they say, oh, that guy spoiled, his dad paid for everything and all this stuff. They don't, they don't see the knowledge, They don't understand. But here's what's amazing. People don't know this. I got to see my parents make it from nothing to everything. My parents were immigrants. They came here with no money, nothing. My uncle was a taxi driver and he passed away, bless his heart, with over $50 million. My father worked in a factory. He was cleaning floors. And my father, I mean, absurdly successful entrepreneur. My mother, growing up, was sleeping on gas station floors with her husband. And I'll never forget this because she used to trick me. I lived with my father because she couldn't afford to have me. And when I would visit her, she would tell me, hey, you want to sleep on the gas station? I'll give you free candy at the gas station if you sleep here. So I used to think it was a game. So we used to sleep in the gas station, and I didn't realize that's what she was doing to make it. And now my mom has the world famous GOAT mansion, right? The first person in my mom's side of the family to have a mansion. So it's just phenomenal. I got to see my parents make it from childhood, from nothing to absurd success. It's unbelievable. And they taught me how to be an entrepreneur. They taught me the mindset. And I'll tell you what's crazy. The mindset is completely different than the average way of thinking. And of course it is. So the average people don't understand what I'm doing. And that's why they're average. But I got to see extraordinary people like my parents do something so amazing. Right. And I learned that. And that's what I'm bringing to the table. And that's why we're so successful. Right. On top of that, I have my wife who is an absolute genius, you know.
So yeah, so I remember I used to see your dad running in the area that I used to live every morning and pushing him. Yeah, he's a black belt too, right?
Yeah, he's black belt in jiu-jitsu, black belt in taekwondo. He was my first coach in taekwondo. And then when UFC came about, I started jiu-jitsu when I was 9-10 years old because I saw traditional martial arts were dying. Right. And I started jiu-jitsu when I was 9-10 years old, and he started as well. He got his black belt as well.
Talking about the Mac Dojos, I feel sad about that because it happened to me when I came here from Argentina in 2001. I was ready to go to fight in Italy for another title for the ISCA in kickboxing. So economy collapsed and they sent me here to Miami, and I was in fighting shape. And they told me, you have to go. I was supposed to go to fight, but they said to me, no, you have to go to work over there. I was my life opportunity. You have to see, the train is going, you have to jump and go. It's only once in your life. I said, well, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to America with papers, so fuck it. I'm sorry for the fighting, but whatever. And when I came here, Argentina, Brazil even more, those countries in South America are big in fighting. You know, you used to have a level in boxing that's great from Argentina. No in grappling in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because at that time was starting.
Yeah.
But I came here, when I'm going to America, I'm going to try to go to fight something now. I'm going to say a place for, I couldn't find anything. I went to remember different gyms all around, and all the boxing and kickboxing classes was cardio with girls dancing. Exactly. Like, it's good. It's your business, good. But there's nothing for fighters at that time. There was only one school far away, but was disgusting, ugly. The level wasn't good. I said, what the fuck? I'm in America. And there is nothing here to fight. So I went to I'm going to start doing taekwondo again. And I went to a traditional school in taekwondo. And it was like that, a Mac Dojo. And I said, fuck, what's going on? And I saw how they take the money for the kids, you know. I was 26, 27, third degree in taekwondo ITF, and in kickboxing they have belts too. From the ISCA, from the WACO, they have the belt, right? And I say the level was horrible. So it's how to destroy the sport in that way. In some way, also it's happening now with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. In a lot of schools that are commercial, right?
Yeah. You know which one. Just say it. Are you trying to make me say it?
No.
Yeah, that's what we're getting to.
You know, I am like,
so, you're getting to. Okay, so.
I am the nice and you are the bad guy.
Yeah,
you told me that you need a bad guy.
I got you. But you know what? I'm the bad. I'm saying what everyone's thinking, but we don't want to. Okay, I got you. Now, here's the thing. When I started jiu-jitsu at 9-10 years old, I went to a place called the Gracie Academy. And it was the realest thing you can imagine because the idea Royce Gracie was doing his training camps there for the UFC and for all his bare knuckle, no time limit fights. Helio Gracie was there. Helson Gracie was there. It was a monster place. It was amazing. It was the only jiu-jitsu gym in Florida. There's no other jiu-jitsu gym. It had to be one of the only gyms in the United States. And it was one of the few Helio Gracie black belts that were actually teaching. And Helio would visit, every other month. Right. So it was legit. And I got to learn all those systems and when nobody knew jiu-jitsu, you know. As things started evolving and they started becoming a little more successful, it started becoming a Mac dojo for jiu-jitsu. I would say it's one of the first Mac dojos for jiu-jitsu. And I was so loyal. I was loyal to a fault. I taught for free for 12 years over there every single day. And I eventually, you know, I was there up until 21, 22. I don't even know. I was fighting. I was competing. I was winning world championships in kickboxing. I was doing great. I was champion amateur MMA, whatever. I was doing good. And I didn't realize that I was training with other coaches. They never let me advertise those other coaches. Those were secret. They let me train with them secretly. I had to pretend I was only training with them. And I started realizing my father wanted me to see this, that they were faking it. They were becoming a Mac dojo and they were using me as their credibility, but it just wasn't the truth. And, you know, hey, they opened up a giant building, 3 floors with valet and elevators and unbelievable fortress for jiu-jitsu, but it's a complete Mac dojo. Like absolute Mac. It's complete fake jiu-jitsu. Helio Gracie is rolling in his grave with the Valente brothers. Oh, sorry. I didn't want to. Oh. Sorry. With the Valente, rolling in their graves, watching these guys ruin jiu-jitsu's name. Royce Gracie, I mean, I haven't seen him there. He doesn't talk about them. We talk together, but he doesn't mention them. But I don't see any of the Gracies there, nothing. And they're doing they made it into some fake martial art. They take away the knife and the gun and they do all this BS and it's not fighting, man. Their black belts don't know anything, nothing. And I remember one of the Valentes called me at one point and it's like, man, you know, why do you say this about us? All this stuff. By the way, the world says this about them. Why do you say this about us? Honestly, man, what you guys fought against, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu was the realest thing in the world. That's what it was about. You guys, when I started there, that's what it was about. That's what you ingrained in me and taught me. For you to become what you preached against is crazy. And you did it for $1. You know what I mean? Look at my gym and your gym. We're one of the realest places to train. Realist. Right. Like, hey, we're old school. Fight broke out in my gym yesterday. You look at me, I post on my Instagram, I'm looking. I let them do it. Run it. You want to fight? You have your gloves on, shin guards on. You start smart. Hey, you want to act stupid right now? Fight. Dude, this is old school martial arts. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they really ruined it. And I'm making just as much. Well, I must be making way more money than they are in 3 years of opening. And I'm teaching something real. I didn't betray the martial arts.
The thing is, I understand the commercial part. And now you have to pay the bills and it's hard to survive doing this kind of business, right? But if you start in one way, why don't continue doing the things in the way that you did it? For example, I start with one philosophy that I'm not going to teach cardio boxing classes. I'm gonna even people who doesn't want to fight, okay? Because everybody has the right to come to train and learn. But at least we don't fake them, because the reality is like this, okay? I know that people want to do with the music, the dancing. Okay, it's good. Like when I do the conditioning class with the fighting, with the back, we put music because, you know, if not, it's boring. But that's one of the things that make us survive for 17, 18, 19. I don't remember exactly what the fuck year it was. I think it was 2006 that I opened. Because we say the reality. Some people doesn't like it. But it's like that. If you want to learn martial arts, if you want to learn how to fight, you have to fight. If you want to learn how to swim, you have to jump in the water, my friend.
Diego, look, I'll tell you this. I have a team of 34 professional animals. Some of them are ranked number 1 in their countries and top 5 in this country, in the United States, which is one of the hardest countries in the world, right? I have some of the top fighters on the planet, 34 fighters, professional, plus the amateurs. I have to keep it real with them. I have to. Right. Most even fighters, they want to lift weights, hit pads, and then go fight. And that's why they're average. They're never going to be anything like that. You know what I mean? They just want to feel good. Hit the pads. They look cool on Instagram. Lift weights. Go run. And then fight. And it does not work. They'll never reach their potential. Yeah. The way I train my fighters, it's not we're just cool on social media. The work is crazy. The amount I push them. We go till they break. I even do sparring rounds that's unlimited time till a partner breaks. Right. We don't stop till the partner breaks. We have rounds like that. You know what I mean? So to be able to keep it real like this, not everyone's going to survive. Even the fighters. Even fighters don't want to keep it real with themselves. But I have to maintain the truth. And you're maintaining the truth of the martial arts. I maintain the truth of the martial arts. And I think that's what it needs. More gyms like that.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you have to, the people come for something. Okay, some people want to be in shape and want to learn the basic. And I understand that they are, for example, a lawyer or a mom. They have the right to learn it. But we say the truth, you know. Don't think because you punch the bag hard. Don't think because you do bad and look good, that's going to work in the street. Because the street is another animal. The street of self-defense is another animal. Even you are a pro fighter, you get your ass whooped in the street.
100%. Yeah.
It's another thing. There is no rules. There is no time. There is no referee. There is no your coach on the corner telling you what to do. It's you, the other guy, and the concrete. So, and you don't know until, the other day I saw a guy that was choking and the guy was stopping in the street. And the guy released him. What the fuck? So you grab him, okay, put him to sleep or break his arm or go, okay?
That's
because
tough,
you don't know what the people is going to do after. So that's the main thing. But we went from other place. What is the future for Karate Combat?
Oh, wow. Jeez, we went to it. Yeah, I got very sidetracked. The idea is this. A lot of people get mad at this too because they see, like, for example, last event, a guy put the belt over the neck, actually one of my fighters, and the other guy threw a front kick at the guy's stomach, different things like this, and say, man, this is some madness. This is going to ruin it. It's turning into the UFC. It's turning into the WWE, which, by the way, are $1 billion organizations. So if it turns into that, I'm not very mad. You know what I mean? That's a great compliment, but they think it's not a compliment. But anyways, it's turning into the UFC. What they have to understand is this. We had 13 fights on the card. 2 of them got rough in the weigh-ins. That's a good ratio. 11 nice, respectful guys. 2 absolute savage weigh-ins. No problem. That's a good ratio. And what people have to understand is this. Karate Combat before was in this bubble. And what happens is when you have the same type of person, no one stands out. There's no they all look the same. They all wear karate pants and look the same. They have a uniform. Nobody knows who is who. There's no superstar. What you need is somebody to shake it up. You need the bad guy and the good guy. You need the superstar karate traditional guy, point fighter that came into this full contact sport that holds the traditions of karate. But you need that guy, that special guy, the one that shakes things up and gets a little crazy. And when they build up and they finally meet in a main event type fight, that's what everyone wants to watch. And you have the good guy when there is a bad guy. For you to have a hero, you need the super villain. And that's what we're finding.
My friend, yesterday we were training with some friends, and in the music in my iPad came Eye of the Tiger from Rocky, right? We grew up seeing that shit. Definitely. Rocky against Apollo. Rocky against the bad guy was the Russian, okay? We need that. That's the show. Okay, I'm sorry if you don't like it, but it's what we want. If you have 2 guys that are nice and things.
And I'll tell you what, for traditional karate guys, when you watch 2 guys like that, it doesn't stand out to you. It doesn't affect the world in any way. It just it looks bland. When you have the good guy and the bad guy, now you have people rooting for this guy. You have people rooting for this guy. And now when they fight, it'll impact the world. Right. And it can do something really great because a lot of people are going to get behind the hero, the good guy. And it's going to impact martial arts culture because everyone's going to watch it. So at the end of the day, man, we are improving karate's name.
Are you Miyagi Dojo or Cobra Kai?
Oh, my God. Cobra Kai took over.
Bueno, brother, good to have you here again. And another, when you are not traveling and doing all the crazy shit that you do, I hope to see you again and talking about some shit.
Yes,
it's
sir.
always fun and nice to see you and talk with you.
Pleasure.
Brother, love you.
Love you too, man.
All right, guys, another one. See you soon.